Welcome, Sagittarius. Thank you for joining me for your monthly horoscope for August for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, if you'd like to chat with me about astrology, you can do so on Twitter. My handle is @HoroscopeAce. Or please join Elisa and I for the daily astrology and tarot video show that we've been doing for about 2 months, which is proving great fun. You can grab your free daily horoscope, and also I explain the dominant astrology for each day. Elisa gives a more spiritual perspective. It's quick, it's snappy, and we'd love to have you with us. Please see the link below. Finally, if you'd like to ascend above your zodiac sign and embrace more serious astrology, please check out my affordable range of reports below. There is a special offer of 30% off, or you can check out my testimonials if you'd like to consider having a one-to-one with me personally. Now, as this month begins, the Sun is in the part of your horoscope which actually in a strange way is an echo to the energy of your own sign. It's in the fire sign of Leo, which is good for you because that's given you a kind of sating your desire for action, and it's in the part of your horoscope that's to do with being adventurous, independent-minded, opening up your world to new vistas. Now, of course, with the reality of COVID, that's not quite as simple as it may have been in the past. But no one can stop you opening your mind, Sagittarius. And that's often where you thrive so well, whether it's around philosophies, history, ideas, and just your kind of upbeat and positive nature. Now, there is a full moon which occurs on the 3rd. This occurs in the sign of Aquarius, which for you is about the everyday energy of life, quick action, thinking, text messages, emails, neighbours, siblings, and so on. On the other side of the heavens, of course, is the Sun. But dissecting the two of them is the restless vibe of Uranus. If you do feel that you're being pulled around in terms of your direction and your focus, there's just too much white noise, too many things competing for your attention, I think this full moon is asking you to try to simplify things, to focus on what's really important to you. But if you are in the process of changing things up, making some alterations, that could be a little bit of an edgy process, and that may create some tensions. Just be conscious that that's possible, and then you could be much more philosophical if you do experience some energy like this. Also, your ruling planet Jupiter, along with Saturn and Pluto, continues in your second house of resources, but crucially of self-worth. And that's clashing with Mars, the planet of passion and drive, for the first 10 days of this month. If you try too hard to improve your financial situation, or you decide to ignore the reality of less income, it could see you being a little bit risk averse just at a time when it may be better to be a little bit more cautious in your approach to resources. Now, I don't want to take the wind out of your sails because Mercury is going to be moving on the 5th into the sign of Leo, which will be a huge sense of relief for you because it's gone through a long 10-week transit through a complex part of your chart, and of course it went through that retrograde. But Venus has been in a splendid part of your situation since the 4th of April, and on the 7th of this month moves into the area that Mercury has vacated. If your longer term financial position has taken a little bit of a pounding through COVID, Venus moving into this area suggests that things can start to pick up, particularly where you collaborate closely with others. It could be someone else's good fortune that showers you with some kind of reward. Also, a more sensual, intimate time can start to take shape from the 7th for you. But what Mercury is going to do in its transit through the sign of Leo is see you be very much a truth seeker, which is part and parcel of who you are, but it really is going to give you a passion for information, and that information can help to guide your moves forwards. But from the 5th through to the 21st, Mars is clashing with Pluto. Now these two are the co-rulers of Scorpio. Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. Some astrologers would say it is the only ruler, more traditional astrology. Modern astrology brings in Pluto. Pluto is about transformation. Mars is about passion, and it can be about sex, of course. So what we have in this right angle is that your desires can be turned up to red hot. Now there's nothing wrong with having a passionate set of desires and feeling ardent about things, but that ardentness needs to be applied in a good way for you. If you force something or you try too hard, it could be counterproductive at the core of this month. Fortunately, Mars in your other fire sign of Aries is forging a brilliant link to the Sun from the 11th through till the 21st. And that also encompasses the new moon in the sign of Leo on the 19th. This is going to presage a time of real positivity for you that goes on through to the middle of September, as long as you can avoid a bit of a trap. And that trap lies in the fact that Mars goes into a tense right angle with Saturn in the last 10 days of this month. And again, patience and the passage of time do more than strengthen fury. So if you are trying to get to position C rather quickly, don't miss out B. Make sure you do things in a step-by-step progressive way. If you try too hard to force things, I do think it can bite you on the bum. So keep it steady, keep just progressing through the processes. And that's really borne out because Uranus goes retrograde on the 15th, and that's kind of saying to you that if you do try too hard, it will just stress you out. So just relax. You're one of those people of the Zodiac who's always very open-minded. You can be flexible, and that's going to come back to you in a very positive way. If you are concerned about money and you want to improve things, Venus will help you. That dash of energy from Mars collaborating with the Sun will help you. And then as Mercury climbs into its midheaven in your chart on the 20th, followed by the Sun, that's when you can start to really see how things are shaking up and shaping up from the changes you've made earlier in the month. And this could see you getting much more recognition, or perhaps taking a step up the pillar of success. Also, Jupiter and Pluto forge a great link to Mercury and the Sun at the very end of this month. So strategically, things can come together very well for you if you go through those processes. But there is a clash between Venus and Pluto in the last few days of this month, which could really see you intoxicated by someone you encounter. This could be particularly the case if you're single, but even if you're not, you may still experience somebody in your orbit who really makes your pulse race. What are you going to do? Well, if you resist, it may be because your values mean that you're involved with someone and you're not going to get drawn into someone's sort of mystic but also powerful aura sexually too quickly. Or is it going to be a financial offer that's going to be made to you, Sagittarius? It's entirely possible, but something could have a little bit of a hidden catch as this month draws to a close. So even if someone's trying to sate you with an offer, trying to salute you for your magnificence, which may be entirely appropriate and deserved, just be aware they may be laying on the charm super thick in order to get something for themselves. So some kind of leverage around sex or money is possible as this month draws to a close. So it's a month of potential change, potential travelling if it's possible where you are personally located. But I think it's your mind, your consciousness and your intent that's really going to be shook up this month. But in the latter part of the month, you can start to really take much more confident steps forwards when it comes to your professional and financial interactions. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Please stay safe, take care, good luck, and goodbye.